summer and early autumn, they hunt the caribous with bows and arrows or even harpooned. We have already discussed how the harpoons looks like. This is how the caribou looks like, and this is how the Eskimos hunt the seals in the northern polar region. They are very familiar in hunting walrus and seals. With this picture, you can easily get an idea about hunting. This is how a group of Eskimos, 25 to 30 people, hunt a walrus, which is called as a largest mammal of the ocean. At times, Eskimos should be in starvation. You may ask me why they have to starve. It means they eat raw food of fish, meat and fat. All the times they do not get the hunting. So, they get the time to be in starvation. To get rid of this problem of starvation, they store food in the shallow pits. In this picture, you can easily get an idea. See how an Eskimo woman is preserving food in shallow pits. She is digging the snow and ice and keeping the fishes in the shallow pit. I hope you understand. Due to the scarcity of wood for roasting meat and fish, Eskimo often eat raw food. There is a scarcity of wood because in the Eskimos vegetation in the North Polar region, you do not find big and large trees. As the wood gets from trees, we do not find any kind of large trees in the North Polar region. So, there is a scarcity of wood arise. Then how they eat meat and fish? They cut the meat and fish into thin strips and dip them into whale and seal oil, and they have it. Children, you remember one thing, that they eat meat and fish while it is in the decayed condition, because the digestion will be very easy at the time of the decaying stage. Of course, you may get a doubt that Eskimo may eat cooked food or not. Yes, of course, sometimes they eat cooked food, but it is almost boiled. Then you also get a doubt that how the food gets boiled. They use walrus and seals oil into the oil lamps and they boil the food. And below you are seeing a picture, that is a picture of lamps in which they use for lamping the lights with the help of whale and seal oils. I hope you are very familiar with this picture from your childhood. Yes, this is igloo, which is the house of Eskimos. They live in igloos. Igloos are winter residences of Eskimos. They are made up from blocks of packed snow. Long tunnel entrances provide storage space in these larger homes. This is how the interior of the igloo looks like, very broad, by which many people can live in this igloo. It is a spacious inside and the entrance tunnel is very long. And children, see, this is the making of igloo with snow blocks. Those are not bricks, they are the snow blocks. It means igloos are made up of snow blocks. And now what are these? These are tents. You see tents oftenly in NCC camps, or at times you can see in the picnics, right? So Eskimos also use tents as their summer residences. These tents are made up of animal skin. On the north coast of Alaska, a dome-shaped houses are built on and with the logs of whale ribs. I repeat you once again, these tents are made up of the ribs of whales. In Greenland, these tents are made up of stones. Oftenly, Greenland people use the houses which are made by the stone slabs. I hope you understand. These are how the stone slab houses are built in the Greenland. Let us have a quiz time. Igloos are made up of S. Snow blocks. What are the summer residences of Eskimos? Good. Tents. Which animal is hunted during summer? Yes, caribou. Where do the Eskimos store the food? In the shallow pits. Let us move. This is what we regularly wear. See the picture? We wear regular costumes. Then now you should get a doubt that what the Eskimos actually wear. The clothing of the Eskimos is made up of the animal skin and fur. The clothing of Eskimo men and women is separate. And this is the picture that shows the different style of women garments and men garment. We actually wear warm and woolen clothes during the time of winter. Eskimos also wear warm clothes which are made up of caribou fawn skin, but it is a two-layered one. It means to sustain the cold and chilled weather, Eskimos wear two-layered clothing made up of caribou fawn skin. This is how the caribou fawn skin looks like. Then what about summer? During summer, Eskimos prefer seal skin, which are waterproof and are very stiff. And this is how the Eskimo clothing made up of seal skin, which is of waterproof and it is very stiff. With the help of the picture, you can see and get an idea of the summer clothing of Eskimos. We regularly wear shoes and sandals. Eskimos wear mukluks, and this is the picture of mukluks which Eskimos wear to get rid of the cold weather to their foot. Now can you tell me few recreational activities that you do at your school to enjoy yourself? Fine, I'll help you. You may go for picnic. You can do some crafts work. You can go for a trip to forest. You may visit any historical place. And you can participate in different cultural activities. It means recreation mean to get enjoyed yourself. Then how Eskimos recreate themselves? I repeat, then how Eskimos have recreation? Eskimos decorate tools and objects of everyday use. And if you see the picture, this is a baleen basket made up of walrus ivory. They make small figures of people and animals by using ivory, wood and soft stone called soapstones, which are available in the North Polar region. In the Pacific and far western areas, the masks are made up of carved wood, painted and decorated with feathers and animal skin. With the help of the picture, you can know how the Eskimos make the pictures of people. I hope you understand. And this is how the picture is, which is made up of whalebone. They made an art on the whalebone, which is made by Inuit Eskimos. Excellent art by the Inuit people with the help of whalebone. And these are the masks for the dance, especially during the time of recreation and group gatherings. They wear dance masks and enjoy themselves. And these are few arts made by the Eskimos by the help of, I repeat, by the help of bones of the animals. For recreation, they have harpoon throw. They participate in wrestling, racing. I have said harpoon throw are few recreating activities which are very popular in Eskimos. They also participate in religious rituals like storytelling, singing, dancing, drumming, which are very common for huge feasts of meat and fat. You should remember one thing, children. They have feasts. It means some kind of gathering to eat meat and fish. They always stay in groups. Did you understand? Very good. Let us see the religious beliefs of Eskimos. They show deep concern for life, health, sickness, starvation and death. Eskimos believe in spirits. The Inuit goddess is known as Sedna. They believe in the goddess called Sedna. And this is the picture of Sedna. Now, can you tell me, how do you contact your friends? We contact our friends with a phone call or through letters. Then how did the Eskimos had the contacts with outside world? Vikings from Iceland was the first Europeans who established settlement in Greenland. Other Europeans began to explore deeper into Eskimo area by 1576 to 1578. He is none other than Sir Martin Frobisher, who entered Baffin Islands and reached the North Polar region. Who are the other explorers like Sir Martin Frobisher? Danish, Norwegian and English explorers sailed into the seas of the far north to find the northwest passage to China through Pacific Ocean and Atlantic Ocean. By 1728, Russians arrived Siberia and northern Alaska. But Eskimos did not have contact with outside world till 19th century. Why Eskimos had contacts with outside world? Outsiders reached Eskimos for animal fur, seafood, animal skin and for the crafts made by them. This is why the reason the outsiders reached the Eskimos. They reached, it's okay. What did the outsiders bring to Eskimos? They bring lot many diseases like smallpox, tuberculosis, whooping cough, diarrhea, and so many dangerous diseases which led to death without any vaccination. This is what the outsiders bring to the Eskimos. Then how was the relationship between Eskimos and outsiders? We can relate the relationship between Eskimos and outsiders in two ways. In one way it is a boom and in other way it is a bane. Let us discuss how it is a boom. The relationship between the Eskimos and outsiders is a boom because with the help of the outsiders, Eskimos generated wealth. They were little bit educated from the outsiders. The Eskimos also had some employment opportunities by the entry of the outsiders. This is how Eskimos got advantaged by the help of the outsiders. And the relationship between the Eskimos and outsiders is also a bane because they spread lot many diseases due to traveling through air and by different waterways. There had emerged global warming and impossible livelihood also is a biggest bane for the outsiders. These are some of the disadvantages between the Eskimos and the outsiders. Though it is a boom or a bane, there are lot of technological developments came towards the North Polar region. For example, if you see this picture, it is icebreaker which nowadays used by the research scholars to research over the North Polar region. This breaks the ice and which is easier to travel on the ice sheets. Though it's a boon or a bane, all the activities has drawn Eskimos into contact with different social and economic forces. The once isolated northern lands have been opened up by air. It means there have been lot of research scholars coming towards the North Polar region to find and have so many researches in the North Polar region. And they travel highways, powerful modern ships and satellite communications are also being used in the Northern Polar region. These changes have produced great strains on the Eskimo way of life. Let us have a project work. Collect the pictures of the following and write about them in your project book. Kayak, icebreaker, parakas, mukluks, harpoons. You all are familiar with these pictures. I would like to tell about parakas. It's a female costume of Eskimo. Parakas are the dresses that are worn by Eskimo women. Did you understand? I have showed you the picture of clothing of men and women. The women clothing is called as parakas. Let us have a quick recapitulation of part 1 and part 2 of the polar regions. In part 1, we have learned in a brief way about the countries which are located in the North Polar region. Towards the North Polar region, you are having Arctic Ocean, And what are the countries that are located in the North Polar region? Their lifestyle, their way of cooking food, their weapons, etc. However, the North Polar region is totally covered with ice and snow. Many research and scholars are coming to look over the North Polar region to have different types of researches, because of which there is a lot of global warming is going on. The atmosphere and the weather conditions of the North Polar region is in a destroying stage. To balance the atmosphere and weather conditions, we should recreate, regenerate, and we should protect the weather. And one more thing I would like to say you, that in the North Polar regions, the people did not have any kind of contacts till 19th century. But in the recent, with the help of the technological developments, most of the Eskimo people are having relationship with the outside world for different types of issues, for getting of the weapons and to get transport system easier. They are transforming from sledges to motor vehicles. This is how the Eskimos are contacting with the outside world. But however, the lot many changes which are made by technology, I repeat, however, the technological developments are not only destroying the ecological balance of North Polar region, but also it is putting a lot of strains on the life of the Eskimos. I hope you have learned all the things which are there in your textbook regarding the Eskimos, especially in the North Polar regions. Learnt about tundra region, winter and summer of tundra, summer solstice and winter solstice, harpoons, and many more. Whatever you have learned, please make a note of the learned things, and for better understanding of the concept, solve the worksheets. Please visit the official website of SIET for worksheets. Thank you all.